Enterprise software acquisition from A to Z. Well, joining us to talk about that today is Mehdi Aftahi, Chief Technology Officer at Technology Evaluation Centers. Mehdi, welcome.
Thank you, Russell.
Mehdi, in an enterprise, there are any number of software needs, but the question for you is, where are these needs coming from? And then where do the individuals or the departments experiencing those needs, where do they go?
The requirements usually come from the operational people within the organizations. These are production people, finance, HR, people that run those departments. They feel the requirements, they feel the needs in upgrading their software or their platforms, or because of some things that are missing within their operations. They feel the need to change their software platforms, or sometimes they don't even think about the software platforms. They have a business requirements and needs. And usually they go to their CIOs or CTOs, IT managers. They discuss the things, the requirements that they have. And that's where usually they start, the discussions. The CEOs get involved once in a while, but most of the questions go to the CIOs and CTOs. The CIOs and CTOs generally turn to the internet, do some research on the software or things that they have on their research material. And based on that, they start the research.
Well, all right, so clearly this begins what is going to turn out to be an assessment, evaluation, and selection process of enterprise software. And clearly, the folks experiencing these needs go to the Chief Information Officer or the Chief Technology Officer or those departments because they have got an expertise that these others do not have. The question then is, though, what do they do? Now, you've indicated that they start researching the areas that need some type of solution or application, whatever it may be, upgrades, whatever it may be. Then what? What are they doing then?
Basically, the CIOs, CTOs are in charge of the systems within the organizations. They're deeply involved in the operations from a technical point of view, from the IT platform's point of view, but not necessarily they are fully informed about what's out there in the market. So that's why they usually look around, talking to the other CIOs, look on the internet, finding what's out there that can basically satisfy the operational needs that they have and it was brought to them. Their search usually ends up with, a number of vendors, products, names, and they may download some white papers on the internet. They start researching some products and try to figure out from the limited information or sometimes scarce information that is on the internet, try to figure out if that software or that software platform can satisfy the CFO's needs or the HR person's need or the operational needs. And in that search, they tend to, call up on vendors as well, which, sometimes it ends up, diverting their search into too soon to the vendors in terms of getting biased or getting into the marketing pitch from the vendors and change their opinion in terms of buying one vendor or buying one product versus the other, which to us, that is where the real problem could lie.
Let's talk about that, because it clearly is not unknown for companies to think that what we need to do is to line up a whole list of vendors in a given area. Let's just say it's an ERP implementation, and let's start vetting the vendors. Let's start interviewing them and talk to them. You're telling us that there can be pitfalls in there. So my question to you is this: who should that acquisition and implementation team be speaking to?
If you don't mind, let's step back a little bit. So before you speaking to anybody, I would say that you have to first understand what your requirements are. You know, and doing so, you are more informed in talking to the vendors and talking to anybody that is trying to sell you their product. The more informed you are about your requirements and your needs, the better you're going to be in negotiating with the vendors. Now, who would be able to help you in that? It's the consultants and unbiased, impartial consultants that can basically talk to the stakeholders, the operational managers, and understand their requirements from a software platform's point of view. So basically what I'm saying is that you need to get a professional, unbiased consultants on your side and talk to the department heads and understand their requirements, their challenges that they have within the current software platforms, and document those in a format which talks back to them and they can verify that this is exactly what I need. Now, the next step of the process is to take those business processes or the requirements that they have and turn them into functions and features of the ERP or CRM or SCM applications where the software vendors can understand and can relate to. So that way you're basically transforming the business requirements into a functional set where the vendors can actually definitively say that we do support that or we do not support that, or what kind of customization or modification is required to be achieving that objective.
Mehdi, once you have identified the needs, there's been this investigation, you've determined, obviously with the help of a consultant, what the capabilities of vendors are, what they can do, what they cannot do, et cetera. When should the negotiation begin, and who is to be involved in that process?
Typically, the negotiation should start or should happen only with the vendors that are capable of delivering the required functionality and required processes for the company, for the organization. And in that process, there should be the stakeholders of the company, the operational managers in terms of what the requirements are. They have to start the negotiation only with the shortlisted vendors where they can prove that they can support the business requirements of the organization. And in that process, we believe that the unbiased consultant should be present and basically negotiate in between the business requirements and the technical requirements or technical capabilities of the vendor. Going into the negotiation prematurely with the vendors will skew the process, and typically the price will play a big role in selecting the vendors. And if you get into the price negotiations too early, you will run in the chance of basically missing the technology, the technological support that you need to enable your processes within the selection process.
Final question, Mehdi. How is it that you can ensure that the implementation process is going according to plan?
Okay, that's a big question. What we can do is you need to document everything from the first step of the way, which is requirements gathering. You have to know exactly what your expectations are from the system, and you have to basically make sure that the vendor is in line with your expectation. And usually, if you do not have the process from the get-go documented properly and communicated properly with the vendors, there's going to be discrepancies during the implementation. So our recommendation is this: you need to get the implementation partners plus the vendor, whoever is basically giving you the licenses, the license suppliers, on the negotiation table together. So they have to be as partners together with the organization or the end user. And typically, the unbiased third-party consultant has to be part of the implementation process to monitor the progress and to still be the catalyst between the end user and the vendor. So if there is a discrepancy between the requirements or the expectations of the organizational people and the implementation partner or the vendor, they can negotiate these without pointing fingers and without getting into legal issues and problems.
Valuable information and very, very detailed overview of this highly complex process. Mehdi, I know you're busy, but you found time to meet with us and to go over this material. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome, Russell.
That's Mehdi Aftahi of Technology Evaluation Centers, and speaking with us today about enterprise software acquisition from A to Z. Thank you for watching.